Hey guys, it's Anna, and welcome to another episode of I Swear We're Not Idiots, the podcast where the only fool in April is me. Today we are talking about all the pranks and non-pranks that happen on April Fool's Day. This video is for entertainment purposes only. These are our own opinions and sick humor. We don't mean to offend anyone. Viewer discretion is advised. Have you played any April Fool's pranks on anybody?
No. I've tried. It didn't work.
They weren't fooled?
No. The only time I've ever experienced a successful one is when my mom convinced me that my dad died a horrific death at work when I was like 6. And she sold it. And I was like, well, this changes at least today, right?
I can't believe your mom said something to that. Like that
she carried it on for a while. For like a solid 30 minutes. While I was just on the steps, like in shock, like, ugh, what?
Were you like wondering, what are you going to do now?
I didn't know what to do. Like, I was thinking of how it could have happened. Like, I've been to his job, and what she said happened, I'm thinking, but how? Like, how did you even end up in that stupid spot? I'm like, well, he also stuck his finger in a fan and chopped tops of 3 of his fingers off, knowing the fan was on. So I'm like, it could have been true, but...
Did I tell you the time that Destiny told Caleb that I died in a car accident on the way home from work? It wasn't even April Fool's. Okay, there are some things that happened on April 1st that people thought were pranks, but they weren't. So I'm going to go through some of those, and I'm going to go through some famous pranks that places has pulled on people. In 1946, an earthquake happened off of the coast of Aleutian Islands, over by Alaska. It caused tsunamis that was about 13 stories tall. And once the people spotted the tsunamis, everybody ran through the streets yelling, "Tidal wave!" And people in the buildings were like, April Fools, right? Until the water hit.
I'd have been inside thinking it was 13-story salami.
Well, I don't think they were saying it's 13 stories tall. They were just saying tidal wave and running.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Honking, driving. So people were like, hey, hi, joke, April Fools. It wasn't a joke.
And they all got hit by it?
Yeah, they got hit by it. Like, there was 165 casualties that day.
Because they thought it was a joke.
Well, I mean, obviously you can't really get away from a tsunami that fast. But, I mean, they didn't. A lot of people just were like, oh, okay, that's funny. Because who runs through the street yelling tidal wave?
That's true. Nobody also runs through the street yelling salami.
No,
I would go outside for that, by the way.
If you thought they said salami instead of tsunami?
Oh, I'm definitely going outside to see what's up. Are you crazy? You know what kind of sandwich I can make?
When
if it's enough salami to get
tall.
somebody's attention to run through the street screaming that we have too much, we need help, I'm going outside with bread.
Okay, in 1970, American Motors announced a new car, the AMC Gremlin. The name was too funny, people thought it was a joke.
Was that before or after the movie?
I don't know, when the movie
What
came
year
out.
was it?
1970.
Pretty close.
I don't know when the movie came out.
Probably the 80s. Probably the 80s.
Oh, here's one. In 2016, in Texas, a woman went to go rob a bank. She didn't have any weapons, so she put her hand in her pocket to resemble a gun. Pew pew, finger guns, right? She went up to the teller, demanded money, and the teller just kind of looked at her. The lady panicked and said, "April Fools," and ran away. There were no charges filed against the lady.
No, because it was a joke, right?
That's what she says.
That's what she said.
That's what she says. In 2001, the Netherlands became the first country to allow same-sex marriage. The public thought it was a good April Fool's prank. It wasn't. In 1983, Hooters was founded. The 6 founders was sure the business would fail, and they did the announcement on April 1st because they said if a business failed, we'll just say it was an April Fool's Day prank. So you want to hear some classic pranks? I think this one is my favorite.
Sure.
1974. Porky bickered.
That sounds like a prank in itself.
So he loved April Fools so much. He flew hundreds of tires. How do you pronounce that word?
That's a shady one there. So it's not giving me a voice version.
Do Google Translate.
You gotta Google that?
Just put Google Translate and type in the English word. And then hit this right here.
Edgecombe. Edgecombe.
That's what I was afraid of. You can say in a town of, and I can go.
Edgecombe.
It's Mount Edgecombe.
Mount Edgecombe.
Want to use her voice?
I could say it.
Mount Edgecombe.
So it's a dormant volcano in Alaska. Okay? He put tires in the volcano's crater and set them on fire, making it appear the volcano is active. The nearby town and Coast Guard panicked, thinking the volcano was about to erupt.
That's terrible.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. The thing is, he let the police know.
Think of the panic. The police can't stop everyone from panicking.
I know, but he let the police know, but he forgot to let the Coast Guard know.
People are still going to panic.
Yeah.
If I looked up and the volcano's up there smoking like a champ, I'm going to be like, yo, it's time to go. Grab everything. Grab the dogs. It's like that guy from Cleveland. Grab your kids. Protect everybody. But everybody be cramming the streets, crashing their cars.
Yeah. I don't know, like, because he flew up there. I think his friend flew him up there.
Also, who doesn't notice that many tires being flown across the sky?
Well, it's not like they're, like, hanging from a helicopter. I think it was on a plane or something. I don't know. I didn't read too much into this. I'm a little bit of an idiot sometimes.
Well.
But it sounded like it was a plane, and they put a bunch of tires up there, and he set them on fire. But, like, how long did it take him to get back down to town going, ha, April Fools?
Long enough for there to be a problem when he got there.
So here's another one. In 1971, a member of the Texas House of Representatives introduced an April Fool's bill. He stated how most of his colleagues don't read things they vote on, so he submitted a fake bill, and it passed. The bill it officially commended the Boston Strangler for his work on population control.
And they voted for it?
Yes, and it passed.
It's such a sad sign for politics.
In 2002, NASA published a picture that proved the moon was made of cheese and even had an expiration date because it was green. In 1976, BBC announced to the listeners that there will be a special alignment of planets, which would temporarily decrease Earth's gravity. Hundreds of people called in saying they felt the effects.
Thank God nobody jumped off a building.
Dude,
then again, you never know.
I didn't even think about that. I
mean, imagine if you truly believed it and you was like, listen, I'm going to float just enough to slow me down. And you full send it.
I feel like that's something you would think of. Would you do that? Would you be like, I'm going to jump off my roof because, there's like...
Well, not mine, because my roof is like nothing. I'll just be like, oh, I just stepped off into the grass. But if I lived in New York or something, maybe.
Oh my God.
Imagine especially if you had like a drink or two and you're like, hey, you guys, gravity is on some weak shit today. I'm going to go ahead and test it. So you jump. And your family's like, he didn't even say nothing before he went.
It didn't affect him like they say it would. Mattel sold a toy version of Wonder Woman's invisible jet. The package was plastic shell with nothing inside. It was advertised as a collector's item. It was extremely popular, and they sold quite a lot. Now you could buy one with an actual, like, invisible jet, like a clear plastic jet, but that was just nothing in the case.
And they put it in stores?
Yeah.
How many?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know how many. It was a Hot Wheels thing.
You think, how many of those people that bought it really thought it was an invisible jet? When they opened it, they would feel something?
I don't think many people that collect that stuff thought there was actually a jet inside. I just thought like
You're probably talking.
they're like the package is a collector's item. I must buy it.
You're also talking what, the 80s?
I don't know. It doesn't have a date on it. In 2010, GameStation, remember that?
No.
GameStation changed their user agreement, and 7,500 customers. There we go. Signed it without reading it, and it stated the users sold their immortal souls to GameStation.
Always read the fine print, people. You think you're there for a free ice cream cone, and it turns out you sold over 2 kidneys and half your spleen.
In 1998, Burger King offered a Whopper only. Shut up! What?
Burger King is such a troll.
They offered a Whopper only for lefties. The Whopper contained all the same ingredients. It just was rotated 180 degrees. Thousands of people ordered a lefty Whopper that day.
What does it mean when they say rotated? It's a circle.
That's the joke.
So it just depends on how you open it.
Like, oh, should I open it for a right-hander?
Half the lefties are like, damn it, they gave me the wrong one.
Like, can I return it and get a new one? So you just turn it around. Here you go.
Burger King's a problem.
In 1987, another BBC aired an episode about spaghetti trees. Spaghetti was harvested in Italy and Switzerland. It also gave tips on how to grow your own spaghetti tree. Place a sprig of spaghetti in a can of tomato sauce and hope for the best. Viewers called in and asked where they could buy a spaghetti bush at. And there's like, I got some footage of the episode, but it's them actually harvesting spaghetti off of a tree.
How many of them do you think thought of palm trees?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Palm trees kind of look like they could be spaghetti.
No, but there was actually spaghetti on these trees when they aired the thing.
Yeah, I know. Did it look like a palm tree?
No, looked like a regular tree.
With spaghetti in it?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Here's another BBC one. In 1980, they made an announcement that Big Ben was going digital. Big Ben will now be called Digital Dave, and instead of bells, there would be beeps.
So stupid. So stupid.
Those are all
Digital Dave.
Digital Dave. That got me.
Why Dave?
Because it's Digital Dave. Big Ben, Digital Dave.
Oh, it's terrible.
Timex Tim.
Shockwave Sam. Or is that just a transformer?
I think that's. I feel like
Is
that's
there
a
a
video.
watch called Shockwave?